Hey guys, this is Naveen from urbanforex.com. I'm going to discuss the Factoral Guru strategy that I have up on my website. It's a fairly new strategy posted today, and let's pull up our charts. Let me show you how this works. Okay, I have a clean chart right here that I'm looking at. It's the Euro USD on a 15-minute time frame right now. I'll walk you through how to add the indicators. I'm going to click Insert, Indicators. I'm going to go to Trend, and I'll see Average Directional Movement Index. That is the ADX. I'm going to keep everything at default, which is period 14, apply to close. And for my colors, I'm going to keep my positive DI to green. I'm going to keep my negative DI to red. And everything else is by default. Click OK. You'll see that show up on the bottom here. I'm going to also click Insert, Indicators, go down to Bill Williams, and you'll see fractals. And I'm going to click that. Everything's all at default levels. Click OK. And you'll see your factorals show up. Okay, how the strategy works. Okay, on a downtrend, what I'm going to look for is a couple things. Okay, the dotted red line should cross above the dotted green line. Okay, so that's a good plus right here. We're in a downtrend right here. And the solid green line should be fairly above these two and should be steadily rising, in which we can see that. Okay, once this happened, we're going to look for a up arrow factoral, which is this one and this one. Notice these two up arrows happen during this downtrend. Okay, now how do we know which one to enter? Again, these up arrows should have, the candles should have tails pointing to the up arrows. You can see this tail is not as big as the tail below it, and it's quite small, so we're going to remove this one. This is a false entry. This one here, look, a beautiful long tail pointing to this factoral. Nothing on the bottom. Okay, so once this happens, remember the fractal doesn't appear until the close of the next candle. So at the opening of the following candle, which is this one right here, we would enter short, which is at a price of 3287. We would keep our stops at 5 pips above the high of our factoral, which is 3294 is the high. 5 pips above that is 3299. So our stop was 12 pips, and the trade went in our favor for a maximum of 97 pips. Okay, so that is a short example. Now let me show you a long example. Let's scroll down. Let's see if we can find a good long example. Okay, let's see here. Let's go down. Here we go. Okay, nice little long example right here. Okay, on for a long trade, our green dotted line should cross above our red dotted line, and our solid blue line should be fairly increasing, as we can see here. This indicates the market is trending, which is what we want. Once this happens, we want to look for a down arrow pointing fractal, which is this one right here. This is pretty much the only one I see that's decent. This also has a tail pointing to the fractal, which is what we look for. Once this happens, remember the next candle, at the close of the next candle, that's when this fractal appears. So the next candle after that is when we enter long. We enter long right there at the opening, which is at 3063. Our stops are 5 pips below the low of the factoral candle, which is 3051 is the low. 5 pips below that will be 3046. Our stop was 16 pips, and the trade went in our favor for a maximum of 103 pips. Again, not a bad risk to reward ratio. Okay, so that was your long example. Now, if you have any other questions, if you want more examples, let me know. You can log onto the website, and at the bottom of the Factoral Guru strategy, you will see a comment section. You can ask me questions on there. If not, you can go onto the strategy forums and ask me over there, and I can post more pictures and examples on there. Okay, so thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.
Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to urbanforex.com. This is Naveen, and I'm gonna give you a video tutorial on the 10 pips per day scalping strategy that you see on my website. Okay, so let me pull up my charts here. Sorry, there we go. Okay, So basically what we have here is we have our stochastics at the settings of 5, 3, and 3. Let me just pull it up here for you so you can see it. The K period is 5, the slowing is 3, the D period is 3, and the MA method is simple. Okay, and we have our Bollinger Bands, as you can see here, which is the period is 20 and the deviation is 2, and then it's applied to close. Okay, now how this works is we're looking for price action. We see how as price moves in a certain direction, if you see a close outside of our Bollinger Bands, for example, this is a long trade. It's a green candle closing outside. The moment this happens, we want to look down and see if we're in the overbought or oversold area. And truly, since we're going up, we were in the oversold. So there's 3 points we'll look at. We want a close outside of the Bollinger Band, which was good. The next thing we want to look for is the overbought oversold, which is that. And the third thing is once we close outside of it, we want to look for the opposite color candle, which is we were long here, it was green, and we're looking for our first red candle. So which happened right there. Let me draw it for you here. Right there. Once that happened, the very next candle we would enter short, giving us 11, 12 pips on this particular candle. We're on the 15-minute time frame on Euro USD. I prefer Euro USD because of the spreads and everything, and it's not that volatile. Okay, now let's move on forward. We had another trade here, green. It closed outside, but we never got a red candle near the outside here. We were in the overbought area, but nothing there. So let's move on. We have another trade here. Right there, it closed outside. We're in the oversold area, overbought area, sorry, and we're looking for a red candle. It comes out here. The very next candle we would go short. The trades pretty much go against us 6 pips, and it goes into our favor maximum of 27 pips. So let's move on to see more trades. As we're going down, here's our next trade that I see right here. This is a long trade. Okay, the market, it closed outside of the Bollinger Bands. We're in the oversold area, and we get a green candle. Once we get the green candle, it's our indication to go long at the very next candle, which is right there. It went against us 7 pips, went maximum in our favor for 11 pips. So doing this, if you take a couple pips here and there from each trade, you can definitely aim for your 10 pips a day strategy using this method. Okay, again, thanks for tuning in, and if you have any questions on this, you can follow our strategy forums, and there is a 10 pips per day scalping strategy forum on there. If you want to have any question, you can post it there and I'll respond. Okay, thanks for tuning in. Bye bye. Hey guys, thanks for tuning into urbanforex.com. I'm going to discuss basically the divergence breakout strategy that Charles had requested me. Um, it might be a little complex to understand, but if you bear with me and you practice a little bit, you will be able to understand. And if you have any questions, there's always a comment section on the bottom. You can always ask me questions over there and I'll reply to you as soon as I can. Okay, so let's pull up the charts. Let's take a look at it. Okay, the main factor of this strategy is divergence. Now, one factor that I do uniquely on divergence is that on my CCI, I always connect my peaks. I don't connect my low ends. It's always going to be my peaks. Now, let's see here. Here's an example of a divergence. We have a high here, and then we have a higher high here. But on our CCI, we have a high here, and then a lower high. So you can see that right there is a divergence. The market is saying something different from what the indicator is saying. And that is a sign of a reversal. Okay, but here's how to even filter it out a little bit better on how you can make it work. In an uptrend on the price, always connect your bottoms. In a downtrend in the price, always connect your tops. On the CCI, just connect your tops at all times. Okay, now let me show you how this strategy works. Okay, we're in a clear uptrend here, right? Okay, we went high here, the market went high,
Market came down, so did this thing, it came down. And then at this level here, where you see this big blue stick right here, what did the market do? It crossed above our level here. So this was our signal line, which saying that, okay, this is where the divergence started. What we're going to do now is wait for a bounce. What a bounce means is that since it went up over here, we're going to wait for the next bar to be below the highest of this bar. So you can see when this blue bar opened up, it was lower than this one. Okay, once you get this signal indication, I'm going to put a line right there. Once you get this indication, that means start connecting your lows or your highs. Okay, so since we were in an uptrend, we're going to connect our lows. We're going to take my trend line indicator. I'm going to connect, here's the lowest point to a lowest point here. Okay, nice little uptrend right there. How do we take this entry? Once it breaks through the trend line, at the close of the candle and the opening of the next candle, you would open a short right here, and it would go on for so forth. Now, where would you put your stops? Since this is a medium size uptrend, I would put my stops couple candles back, which would be this one and this one back on the high of this candle. If for example, just for example, if the trend line was like this, where it's not so steep, then I would keep the stop at the high of my breakout candle. Okay? And if the candle is very steep, it's something like this, then I would keep my stop on the highest possible swing high, the closest to the trend line, the swing high. Okay? So that pretty much concludes on how you can trade this divergence breakout strategy. Again, it's mostly price action. You were just using the CCI just to see divergence. We're not following up or down through the CCI, nothing like that. Okay, again, if you have any questions, just let me know on the bottom of this page. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Bye-bye.